I'm still committing that we'll play Tome this year, no? That will happen, I swear. There are no stupid questions, but if you make a stupid... There are no stupid questions, but if you ask a stupid question, we'll make fun of you a little, but probably still answer it. Stop hashtag. All right. So we are restarting Hotbeards. We're listening to SoundSense music today because I feel like it. Hotbeards is the second fortress I've done in this world, alongside a good number of adventurers. I normally just put on soundscapes, but I need more to keep me awake today. I'm tired. I might swap to soundscapes after a bit, but... Anyway, this is Hotbeards. Hotbeards is a very, very, very dangerous fort for a dwarf to live in. There's a very simple reason for that. It's a very, very, very deep trench. A number of dwarves have had found watery graves down in the basement of this trench. Or the base of this trench. Although several characters or were creatures have gotten caught in the waterfall there and gone splat at the bottom. So it's quite efficient. But granted, it's also pulled a couple dwarves, a few merchants, a trader, a few other things. We just had a siege. We won. So we actually got to use our big whoosh, which was very efficient. It whooshed, and they all gurgled. And now they're dead. So that part's great. It is draining still, and then we'll be able to go collect the Goblinite after the bloated corpses finish stinking. So, well, we're giving it time. We're just letting the water drain currently. If we go up to the surface up here and jump over to this side, you'll see that we're building this. Although armies seem to have stopped spawning on this side, which is kind of thwarting my plans of putting a whole bunch of, like, catapults and ballistas here. We'll see what ends up happening. I did build the baddies a little tiny baddie bridge down here on the left, right there. That's the baddie bridge, so that they can cross. I might make another one, like an actual one, maybe like over on this side, so like we can like shoot at things through it. But we need to figure out how to do that. So that's the big whoosh that we've constructed there. And then as for the fort itself, it's a combination of well, there's our aqueduct, but it's a combination of cliffside apartments, which I think are lovely. They're half of them are loft apartments or basement apartments too. Like these are one stair up, and then these are all one stair down, and then these are all on level. But we need to make another round of apartments, and the reason is because I've increase the population cap. We're currently sitting at 92 dwarves, and we're probably going to be at about 190 by the end of today. So, we're going to need more bedrooms. So I need to figure out where to put those. So that's priority number 1. As for the rest of the fort, there's a bunch of dwarves in hospital right now. The most catastrophic event we've had in this fort was a forgotten beast, which got which blew this, shall we say... Are you okay, Dwarf? You've got a fever. Which blew this weird stuff all over everybody, and then a bunch of my dwarves all got a fever and died. All of the dwarves that took part in the fight with that forgotten beast. And since then, random other dwarves have been getting a fever and dying. So I don't like this. I'm not sure where it's coming from. I think I need to like make some soap or something. Anyway, so that's unpleasant. But aside from that unpleasantness, the fortress is going quite well. We do have a number of nicknamed dwarves in here, including Ronald. We have Katie 8. We also have Pigfinite and Stone. We have We have Rhinestone. We have Vinsati. We have Joe. We have Gunslinger. We have Mike F. We have Ponce. We have Friggin' Bob. We have Animal, we have Bonehead, and we have Axon, our chief medical dwarf, of course. We have Max the Infant, we have Merc, we have Kettle Lars, And of course, Cajun Bart down at the bottom. Now, some of these dwarves have immigrated. Some of them haven't. I feel like I missed some. Oh, Axon. Bounty Cobalt was one that I missed. Pretty sure I missed at least one. Animal Bonehead. Maybe I didn't. It's just there's a... Oh, there he is. That's the one I was missing. Nox. Nox is the one that I was missing. Nox is a incredible dwarf. Nox came from the previous fortress and survived one of the most catastrophic sets of injuries I think I've ever seen a dwarf survive. I'm worried about you, dwarf. Worried about you. But it can't be so bad. Don't believe you've ever met a forgotten beast that spreads fever. Yeah, it's weird. It's kind of annoying, too. This door right here that they just walked through is an artifact door. We do also have some artifact armor. Also, another thing that has a fever right now is this fucking peacock. But this peacock's had this fever for a long time. Like a long time. So, anyway, we're just waiting for all of this water to drain out. And once it's done draining out, we can, you know, send the dwarves in and start collecting these. Although I would like these corpses to finish rotting first. So I'm going to wait for miasma. And I haven't seen any miasma yet because there is kind of a lot of bodies down here, but there's a lot of copper, which is great because currently we are very much lacking in the copper department. We are very much lacking in the usable metals department. We do have quite a lot of bars. We have some iron. Those are from anvils that I melted. A ton of silver. A little bit of copper from stuff that I've melted. A little bit of bronze that I traded for. A little bit of brass and steel that I also traded for. Shit tons of lead. And then obviously charcoal. But if I go over here, this world is actually really shallow because we did some advanced world gen stuff and made the world real shallow. So we've got Magma Forges that are like right here. And also some migrants have arrived. But we'll deal with that in a second. But anyway, we got Magma Forges that are like right here. Like literally right here. So that's kind of cool. So this is my little magma forge and little magma reservoir, meaning I could go for adamantine. There's like a spire right there. There's a spire over here. There's probably more spires over in these areas that I can't see, but there's at least two that we are aware of currently. So this is our little forge area where we're doing a little bit of forging. We have some pretty good some pretty good forgers, including like a legendary weaponsmith. But like I said, we are currently just dealing with the seeing a lot of fevers. Cat with a fever? This is weird. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Oh, you're talking about Tome? But anyway, evening, Stone. Stone, we're having an interesting thing happening. A bunch of my dwarves are getting a fever. Like, unrelated to the military. You ever seen this before? This is just kind of an open question to anybody in chat, because I've never seen this before. I don't believe anybody's died yet. I'm also getting a migrant wave right now, but... Because it was the Plague Pony, that Forgotten Beast horse that had vapors that went after us initially. Didn't want to say it, but Tekid had to. Weird. I mean, I know that Dwarf Fortress doesn't actually have any modeled, like, spreading diseases. It's spreading... I don't want to talk about bullshit COVID conspiracies, but do you guys remember that very brief period of time where that one lady was reposting an article on Facebook claiming that COVID-19 can be spread through the internet? You guys remember that? Anyway, I'm not saying it's not true, but it's definitely not true. Anyway, it may have entered into my realms of Dwarf. And I've got another chameleon person I gotta release. Got a few, actually. Anyway, let's just let the dwarves do this. Yeah, I keep recovering wounded that have a fever. I guess worst case scenario, I end up with some really, 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 really good doctors. I don't need a fish cleaner. I do need more healthcare workers. He is vengeful and never forgets or forgives past grievances. Wow. Generally, he doesn't respond to emotional appeals and is rarely moved by curiosity. You would be a terrible doctor, which I just gave you all the jobs for. Excellent. So instead of giving you all of these jobs, I'm going to give you masonry and all of the metalsmithing. Have fun. I've talked with Tarn about that before, and he always just he's stated a couple of times that he can't think of a way of having like detrimental diseases, but also make them fun in a video game sense, which makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah, I'm wondering if it's got something to do with the temperature, because it is really hot here. Also a child here with a fever. I mean, it's clearly not, it can't be deadly, because outside of this, which was a combat death, I haven't had any deaths from it. It can't be that bad. Like, literally, it can't be that bad. Watch, like, my entire fort die of this fever. Yeah, that's basically what Tarn said. Like, I was listening to an old DF talk about this recently, because I've been going back through a lot of the old DF talks, and just listening to them, because I think that they're interesting. He states pretty bluntly that, like, infectious diseases wouldn't be fun as a game mechanic. And he says that he's tossed around the idea of adding, like, this dwarf has a sniffle, but it wouldn't be more than that. Well, I mean, there's a lot of recovering of wounded. Speaking of podcast, if anybody really wants to help out the podcast, we need questions. So if you're in the Halcyon Frequency Discord, leave us like either directly related or unrelated to gaming questions for the community interaction segment, because that's something that's like a little tricky to get the ball rolling for. So if you think of anything random to just like ask me or my team, that's a good spot to do that. All right, so those have all been set to dump, which is perfect. But it looks like these dwarves are getting new clothes, which is what they need. All right, well, we're going to have to make ash. Let's make 20 ash. Let's make lye. 20. So I should be able to just do I even have a wood burners? I don't actually know. B, workshop, no. B, furnaces. I do not currently have a wood burners furnace. All right, well, got to make another one of those. I got rid of it when I made the other thing. Yeah, there's definitely sick dwarves around. All right, well, we gotta baby a bunch of dwarves real quick. Let's make an ashery, and a soap maker shop. I'm just going to turn off all of the military. Yeah, all of those red flashing X's have a fever. This is really peculiar. Non-infectious diseases akin to a cold would be interesting. Could add some, would add some challenge to some cold places. Yeah. I'm just watching to see if people start dying from this. This is really peculiar. It's funny because, like, even encountered fever? Fever is when they have that red flashing X in the background, and if you look at their health screen, see they have a fever. This is peculiar. Because we had a big fight at the edge of the map, right? And that seems to have been what caused it. You know, actually, let's just burrow everybody inside. Because everything is rotting now. And let's just give these dwarves a break. See if it just passes. If it doesn't, I want to see what happens. No, they were fighting things right as they spawned on the tile. But it was a goblin siege, so it was just goblins they were fighting with. The concern is they're lying down, so they're walking real slowly. Worried they're gonna run out of booze. Let's just wait until the majority of them are in here. Yeah, like, the ones outside are getting it. What the fuck is happening? You know, if all of these dwarves die of a mysterious plague, I won't even be mad. I'll just be really confused.
God is dead, and we have killed him, Mia.
Yeah, and he's killing us now with a fever. Charging port on your laptop is dying? Oh no, that's not good. There are some fixes for that, though, if it's just the port. Also, hi, Tygo. I didn't say a proper hello to you. I hope things in your neck of the woods are all right today. Familiar thing, you haven't been able to get arsed enough to fix it in 5 years with the charging port for your laptop? Wow. I don't believe I've ever been in that position. Yeah, you guys, like, we haven't had a single death from this yet. Yeah, we haven't had a single death. Oh, hey. Mayor wants me to make ballista arrows. That's familiar. That's also okay, though, because I do want to make ballistas for this fort, but, like... I feel like we should slaughter this poor kitty. When this kitty makes it into the fort, that's when we lock the door. So everybody that's flashing has a fever. which is a large portion of the dwarves in the hospital. Including my mayor, it looks like. Yeah, even my mayor has a fever. I'm completely bewildered by this. Why the literal translation for Russia from the Chinese is country of surprises? Is that true? That's whack. Hey, Tele. Those things. But that's good that things seem fine now. You used to have a laptop which would only charge when the charging port was in a certain way. I used to have a laptop that wouldn't charge unless I pushed the charging cable in and then bent it downwards a little bit. Eventually, I fixed the problem by resoldering the connector on the bottom. So, for those of you only just tuning in, the entire fort has a fever, it seems. Including, like, random peacocks and cats. And, like, no, it's not just dwarves. It's like everybody kind of has a fever. Everything with a red flashing X on it has a fever. The marches? I mean, rip your piece and... Oh. Oh, okay. I was like, why is there miasma? Okay, it's just rotten stew. That's... I'll just put a sneaky refuse pile down here. Somewhere to put that stuff. I was just waiting for that cat, and now I guess Peacock to come inside. The fever party? I don't know what it is. I've literally never seen this before. So we had a Forgotten Beast that expelled vapors, right? And everybody who got caught in those vapors, which this is not too uncommon, everybody who got caught in those vapors within, I don't know, 10 seconds of the fight ending and them killing the Forgotten Beast, they all died of the fever. Which, Forgotten Beasts that give out vapors, I'm seeing if we can wait it out. I don't know if it's curable. So that's not too uncommon. Forgotten Beasts with vapors that cause all the dwarves to get, air quotes, sickness, and then they die pretty quickly unless they get soap. Which is unlikely. Because, like, they what was the beast, do I remember? It was the horse. It was the horse who gave out vapors. The Forgotten Beast that was a horse. Its corpse is still in my basement. Anyway, we killed it, and that wasn't an issue. It was a pretty easy kill, but every single dwarf that was in that fight died. Every single one of them. And this is the same fever icon. Oh, you have to go all in on that? This is true, you do. So I'm just sitting here going, what the fuck? But, like, nobody else has died from it. It's just kind of there. We're gonna close this door. So I'm just kind of watching the dwarves and see if it, like, if the numbers of them go down. Or numbers of them with the fever anyway go down. Right, so I've locked all the doors. And we're gonna try and make some soap in here. See if we can do that. Because in theory, that should be what will help with this. But see, the ones that have the fever are moving way slower. Look at that. See? We slaughtered that one cat because it was moving like ridiculously slowly and had a fever, and I guarantee you it's not going to recover. All right, so let me just see what we can do. Like I said, I am making a soap industry real quick. I also need some siege workshops. Although I can probably put the siege workshops down by Lava Sea. In the, like down here area. Gotta have somebody with siege stuff turned on. Silver, arrow, heads. Let's do 30 of those. But the funny thing is, like, is they're not going to a hospital for it, too. Should probably also make us a well. So I think we're going to make us a well real quick. I think the way I'm going to do this is going to be pretty simple. We're just going to do it this way. Where's the lever for there? Apologies, Stone. Just let the dwarves finish moving stuff around. Yeah, nobody's died from it, so I'm not too worried about it at this point. I just want to know how to make it go away. So we're just gonna set up our soap industry and see if we can get this fixed, because this is just odd. More than anything. Like, I'm not too worried about it killing my dwarves. I'm just perplexed. I said nobody's died from it yet. But yes, also hi, Aqua. I'm very perplexed by this whole situation. Speaking of perplexed, how drained is this? Oh, how full are you? Keep hitting L instead of... it's draining. It's almost done. I mean, you gotta fire the curses in the general direction of somebody, right? Stone? I have to say, this is one of the weirdest things I've ever seen in this video game. Like, just flat. Like, I've never seen a Forgotten Beast effect post-fight. Like, 3 years in-game later, suddenly affect everybody. So something's going on. I don't know what it is. Something is fishy. Me no likey. Cool. We forging ballista arrows. Make an ash. Okay. EF is beginning to acquire features that even Tarn doesn't know about. Yeah, I mean, this might be some weird bug. It might be. Say the river is fishy. Well, I mean, the river has fishies. So, chat, do you guys have any theories of what in the world could be causing this? I'm just, like, open to as many ideas as possible. Like, what could cause a fever? Like, does this game even have the capacity for infectious diseases? Because it's also like my animals are affected, right? Like the peacocks have it. A bunch of the cats had it. So obviously I put them out of their misery, but like. Can dwarf lungs hold vapors? That is a question. Like, this dwarf doesn't have any remnants of the vapor on them. Right? Doesn't have it. This one is covered in goblin blood and giant skink blood. This peacock. This dwarf has nothing. Find one who does. Okay, so this child has it. Skink blood. This one's covered in... Oops. This child is covered in dwarf blood. Goblin blood. Although I'm pretty sure that that child is covered in their mom's blood, right? No, just another swords dwarf who was in the fight. Syndromes have a ramp-up period, but I don't know if TF will generate a random syndrome with a year +1 ramp-up. Ramp-up? Yeah, well. If so, this is the slowest ramp-up syndrome I've ever seen. Because I did have a Forgotten Beast once that had noxious fumes. It was a bird with noxious fumes, and it basically just flew over top of my fortress. And what I ended up doing was just like locking everybody in the indoor section, and everybody who was outside just kind of died. But anybody that got the fumes on them, and a lot of them did, were inside, and their skin just started rotting. They didn't die, but their skin just started rotting, so all of the dwarves started spewing out miasma. This kind of reminds me of that. Because it just kind of kept going for a very long time, and none of the dwarves died from it. They just started shooting out miasma, which was very strange. Well, back to work. Pretty much. It's like, I guess I'm a leper now. So this kind of feels like that. Did the horse die have any specific blood effects? Nope. Literally, it didn't have weird blood. It just had vapors. A reenactment of Cabin Fever? What, the movie? Could totally pull that lever so I don't forget to pull it later. Oh, it like, modding disease, just like poisons and basic magics is really easy. Also, on that note, the Etten, Kim, has come. A giant humanoid monster with 2 heads. Kim Arabanson, and it has an artifact strapped to it. Fun rolling, welcome back for 48th month with Prime. It's good to see you. I hope you've been right, or all right. Hope you've been right. Better than being wrong. I hope that you've been all right. I hope things are good. Cheers. Fucking Kim, yeah, right? God damn it, Kimmy! Anyway, the Washed Silk is the name of this artifact. Looks like an elf used it and got a kill with it. It was used to kill a Minotaur. The bronze bow. Subject is this Bismuth bronze bow. Anybody want to explain me what those hanging rings are made of? Explain to me what them hanging rings are made of. It is adorned with hanging rings of calcareous ooze? Anybody want to explain to me what that means? Also, Yell Puke. Muka Yell Puke, the Minotaur. Died in year 97. Cave floater. Oh, we do have cave floaters. Interesting. I was unaware of this. I haven't directly interacted with them, but they are in the second cavern, in the second or third cavern layer. I wonder, actually, you know what it might be in that regard. Perhaps it's the fact that we have cave floaters in the lower cavern layers, and this fort is really, shallow. So maybe that's it. I wonder. But yeah, I had no idea that cave floaters could do that. Is it deadly over time? Anyway, we have an Etten here with a cool bow. We'll have to get that bow. But... Huh. Hold on. See if I can spot any of the cave floaters. So the evil seduction is the stuff that the horse was spewing out. There's cave blob fluid. Gives fever and dizziness. Huh. Well, I guess that explains that then. I think that you may have just found our culprit, dude. I mean, I don't think there's any living cave floaters right now. I think they all died. Mulmarians. Troglodyte corpses. Bunch of cave crocodiles. Crundles. I think that you found our culprit. All right, so is there any way to treat it? Or is it just something that we get to tolerate now? Time to queue up soap. I needed to make soap anyway, so it's not exactly a loss on that. It's certainly going to be an annoyance. You can say that. All right, well, we're going to need to fight this Etten. Let's just get my military there. Follow this Etten. See where it go. Oh, it's fighting the giant Impala. Could also just send the military up here to fight it. Dwarf's got to bring his favorite cup into battle. Where are you? I don't even see you. There you are. It's right there. This map's kind of messy. It's pretty clustered with all the trees. Etten is chasing Giant Impala. Basically, it's just like any dwarf that gets that is going to be extremely ineffective in any kind of combat situation. Looks like Shortass, the Mace Lord, got into the fight first, of course, wielding some really crappy giant cave spider silk mittens and a Somatic Oracle board, the Silver Mace, which has 13 slayers or kills in Hotbeards, accredited to Shortast, and dives on top of this Etten. It looks like the Etten dropped the artifact. Excellent. The Etten seems to be receiving a good beating. Lots of hammers. I'm also seeing maces. Pile on top and beat the crap out of it. This was a long fight. This was a tough one. Seems like the militia captain fractured the thing's leg by scratching it towards the end of there. Curious who got the kill. 5 goblins. Most of these dwarves have quite a few kills. This one killed a named beak dog and a named goblin. Interesting. Oh, there you go. Kim, Rights of Heliotrope. Missed him, got it. The militia captain. 11 other kills. You know, missed him. We're going to give you to Igo, Lauer. I don't believe you have a dwarf in this world yet. And she is afraid after experiencing trauma, but doesn't feel anything after seeing the Etten die. But satisfied upon improving observation. Pretty cold, calculated killer, you. 116 years old, born on the 7th of Obsidian in the year 48. She is strapped with massive amounts of muscle and lard, and her hair is clean shaven. Her nose is broad, and her dark peach skin is slightly wrinkled. Her hair is gray with some black. Her eyes are heliotrope. You like claystone, iron, and green jade, ginkgo wood, and ocean sunfish bone cows for their haunting moos and the sound of the adorable lark. You can't stand purring maggots, and you personally believe that acquisition of power over others is an ideal goal in life and worthy of the highest respect, and sees those that attempt to maintain a dignified and proper behavior as vain and offensive, and you treasure independence and you think friendship is important, and you see working hard as a foolish waste of time. She is shameless and unfazed by the thoughts of others and easily moved to mercy. She is conflicted by this, and she sees these tendencies as an impediment to the quest for power. She lives an orderly life, organized and neat, and is grounded in reality. She is confident under pressure and prefers that everyone live as harmoniously as possible. She can occasionally lose focus on the matter at hand and doesn't experience strong cravings or urges. She does not go out of her way to help others, and she does not easily fall in love and rarely develops positive feelings. She begins to talk in a hushed whisper when she's angry. When she's excited, she needs alcohol to get through the working day, and doesn't really care about anything anymore, but somewhat focused with satisfied needs. All right, let's release the masses. We're still working on soap. Also, Disco, it's good to see you. Beak dogs always struck you as such an interesting idea for a creature. Are they more or less interesting knowing that they are more akin to like the weird underground critters from Tremors than like birds now? You like them more as that? The general consensus seems to be people don't like that. Like almost every time I bring that subject up, people are always like, they ruined them. Ah! Oh, this is all large clothing. Gotcha. Start working on socks. Because that's stuff that we need. Also, see if I can grab that bow. There it is. Would like to put it on that pedestal. Those movies are very nostalgic for you. Tremors is just wonderful. Tremors in and of itself is just a phenomenal film. It's obviously not the best made film of all time, but God, I love it. I gotta pull that side door. Because right now, most of the dwarves are running across tiny little bridge, which I'm not a fan of. They're just fun films. Yeah, Kevin Bacon's a entertaining dude. Didn't they try to reboot Tremors last year? Oh, it's far from it. But if every film needed to be Citizen Kane, we'd get a lot less films released. And I'm totally okay with films not being Citizen Kane. All right. Looks like we're getting soap. Curious as to what kind of soap we're making. Monitor lizard soap. From the looks of things. So now it's a matter of how the hell do I fix a fever? Fever. Apparently black mamba bites can cause fevers. Brown recluse spider bites can cause fevers. Cave floater sickness. Strong drowsiness, which is delayed. Strong dizziness, which is delayed. And fever. Mild nausea. Inhaled or ingested. Huh. So, cave floater sickness. Cave floater gas, inhaled or ingested. Expelled from cave floater. I guess they just get over it? Yeah, it felt like a music-y day. If I listen to nothing but it, then I get annoyed, but... I like this one. Giant cave spider bite. Chronic effects. None. Not that it really matters. So it's not chronic. Which means I hope that it goes away? It's just really perplexing. Also, Twitch must be making changes again because my Twitch Now plugin just stopped working. Sorry, just had to respond to a comment. Person on YouTube was saying, quote, press K to look. Because I commented that you had to press K to look at a thing. And they said, this is why Dwarf Fortress has a shit tier interface by ASCII standards, is because you hit L to look, not K to look. I'm like, but in various games that I've played, I've had L, N, P, O, Q, all as different look buttons. It's not like there's a standard for ASCII games. If there is one, please tell me, because I've never seen it. Yeah, you don't think that it would matter if there was chronic conditions from a lethal bite? Yeah, no, absolutely. It'll pass. Yeah. It's just very perplexing. That's mostly all it is right now. It's just very, very, very perplexing. It's also, like, probably going to make it impossible for us to clear the bodies out of here for a little bit, because I need my dwarves to, you know, not be in the process of dying for a little bit longer. So I'm more worried about them, like, taking too long of a walk across the map and then starving to death. Also, why are you fighting with a giant impala? That seems unwise. Seems really unwise. But you get so hyped by the 1 minute and 40 loop in base DF. I mean, it's a good loop. It's not that I don't like the bass music in DF. It's that I don't like it after 30 hours. Like, the first 30 hours, it's pretty vibing, good music. But there's a point where it just kind of is like, look, peer, view. Yeah, nope. Stop complaining about bindings and make up your own. Yeah, exactly. Just if you don't like them, fucking rebind them. Sod off. There's a reason why learning a game like this, like, the first thing you do is you spend the first 10 hours just staring at the keybinds list. Like, by ASCII standards, it's pretty standard. All right, we working on socks. We working on other socks. We also working on lye. We made all the soap, though, apparently. Or we are making soap, though. Good. Didn't see it on the list initially. Maybe I should make a second soap maker's workshop. Because Nish over here seems to be doing a very, very good job. It's like the late giant desert scorpion sting. It has the long-term effect of certain death. I mean, giant scorpion stings are not something you want to get stung by, I'll put it that way. Certainly not something you would like to get stung by and avoid. Like, if you have an option to get stung by that or anything else, I would recommend not getting stung by that. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do here is, oh my goodness. So we're going to place a wall piece there and mine that out. I'm trying to figure out how I can do this. That. I'll only need to turn this on for like a second. And then we can just build a well on it, because I need a easier to access well. I do have that well down here, which might be part of it. Seeing as, like, look at all this crap down here. So we're making a better well. That's up here. I'm actually not, now I'm wondering. Do you guys think that that well is part of it? Let's just cancel this. Hold on. I mean, around this well, we have all of these pools of blood, but we also have the pools of the evil seduction stuff. Now I'm wondering. I wonder if that's part of it. Let's not put a well there. Let's put a well... like... under this layer. Because then I could put a hospital right here, which is what we're going to do. And I could put a well in this hospital. Actually, you know what? Instead of putting it all the way over there, let's put it up here. It'll just make more sense in this section. Also, I have a question. Axon, are you excited for that new Jupiter Hell patch? Because I am anticipating that patch probably more than most people were anticipating the Cyberpunk 2077 patch that just came out. Because it seems like a lot of people were anticipating that, but I'd be willing to bet that I'm anticipating that more currently. Right, got dwarves making lye, dwarves making soap, and all that crud. So I can also dig up to here. And then make a little well down here. We just have to make it look kind of pretty. That's the one rule here. Hello, Irish Stupid. How's your day been? Now I could even put 2 wells underneath this. Like one here, one up here. It's getting the wounded a lot of visits. Well, see, here's the thing. I already have a I already have another hospital. It's just very small. I just want a bigger one because we're also increasing the population, right? Caravan from the humans have arrived, and they've bypassed my inaccessible trading depot. Also, hey, Chubbs, how you doing today? We've got a problem. My whole fort appears to have cave floater sickness, which gives everybody a mild fever and dizziness, which is kind of annoying. Which is something I've never actually encountered before. I've had forts with cave floaters in them before, but... You don't even know what the release date is? Roughly a month from now. Like the 14th of next month. I think. Need to recheck the DM that Epion sent me, but it's next month. I'll be streaming a bunch of it because there's also a discount planned, and we're planning some promotion things, so. And seeing all the content, so that seems like a you problem, man. Also, I'm just realizing I screwed this up. Welp. That's fine. I can unscrew this up. Yeah, whole fort syndrome. The cave floaters, if dwarves are exposed to it, their fumes for a long time, or if they ingest their fumes, they get mild dizziness and a fever. I thought it was coming from a forgotten beast, but that seems to be what we've sleuthed it out to be. Shoutouts to Tygo in chat for finding that. Yeah, see, this dwarf just developed it, I think, unless... I think that dwarf may have already had it. On behalf of the Merchants Guild, let me extend my greetings to your people. There is much to discuss. Hello, humans. I would just... at this point, just bring us anvils. While cooking, you accidentally dropped a knife and stabbed your foot. Oh, fuck, dude. That sucks. Hopefully the health insurance is gonna kick that away from you. That's scary. Hope your foot's okay. On behalf of the Merchants Guild, let me bid farewell to you and your stout dwarves. There was one time I stabbed my finger with a knife while cooking, and it went right through my finger, and I saw it touch the back of my nail. Fortunately, didn't need stitches, but it was pretty fucking close. It was pretty fucking close. Oh shit, we've got a new mayor. Cybrick. We also desperately need more beds. Or bedrooms. Our stuff's not nice enough. You ungrateful twat. We get that mayor that wants clear glass again. Just gonna keep forcibly replacing him as he demands it. Regardless, though, get well soon, Ire Stupid. Just needed some stitches is still a pretty, majory thing. It's obviously, not a life-ending or life-threatening situation, but it's still sketch. Still unpleasant. Just throw a door in right here. And a lever right there. I'm gonna put a floodgate. Stepped on a small piece of glass in the kitchen once. You thought it was a pebble or something, and so you picked up your foot up off the floor and tried to wipe it off without... Oh, no. Had a numb spot on your finger for years. That... Ugh. So apparently the numb spot's still kind of there. Well... At least now you can unironically listen to Comfortably Numb and feel good about it. Whoop! That was quick. We have opened up. So we've opened up the fortress to more migrants, and our friend here, Nil, took a nap on this chair, and has been found dead right there. Who's in the general vicinity? Ah, due to inebriation. There you are. I'm looking for somebody who looks sus. don't see anything about booze in your mood. Did they know who did it? Nope. A crime involves a conspiracy. An interrogation may reveal the plot. Einod seems kind of sus. How about you? I'm literally just checking dwarves that are in the general vicinity. You're not a vampire. How about you? You're also not a vampire. Played this game for the first time in December, and you got so immersed you didn't leave your room for 2 weeks? That sounds like a lovely way to spend a December. Good time of year for it, too. So the fun thing about this... Can't believe Nil is dead, hey? You really can't? You really, 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 really can't believe that Nil is dead? You really, really, really believe that? One hell of a nap? Yeah, it's a nap for all eternity. But, I'm trying to figure... I saw you follow it, like, a little bit ago. Like, 30 minutes ago or so. Inter. And I can't... I've got, like, the Intercontinental... Oh, Intercontinental Bad Manners. Or BM. Or whatever. I think I got it. Intercontinental. Got it. Just, like, staring at that. It's like, where does that become another word? I get you. Well, I mean, that's still a good way to, like, if you're going to have to quarantine for any reason, that's a good reason to. I'm going to interrogate that dwarf. Jump over to the justice screen. Your name? Dastot. Bad manners. If you're being BM in a game, it's because you have bad manners. Being rude. And Intercontinental, thanks for the tier 1 subscription. Cheers. Other Dastot. We have a vampire in the fortress, if anybody's confused as to what's going on. Also, hey, Jack Nick, what's up? Can you trace relationships and feelings of the dead person to find the culprit? No. Once a person is dead, you're locked out of their thoughts screen. There is a old bug to get in there, but hey, we're just gonna start interrogating people. I mean, it's fine. Rhinestone is the captain, so who is in the room with him right now? Cybrick Joe. We'll interrogate Joe because Joe found him. Or I know it's not Joe though. Who else is in the general vicinity? I nod. This one is weird to me. I'm gonna request Einod the traitor be interviewed. There you are. Ballistic missile was too, so you wanted to be intercontinental ballistic missile? Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, ballistic missiles are pretty BM, to be totally fair. Like, if you're firing those off, that is pretty BM, so it checks out. All right, I think that's enough counterintelligence for just now. Let's unpause the game for a moment. are you doing? Oh, you're going to go... Oh, looks like Joe saw something. Because Joe's going to go report the crime. Maybe Joe just has... Maybe Joe's just a witness. Although it does have a pretty bad fever right now. Well, let's follow. Assuming it's the captain of the guard. You've got more important gigs to do, so you're going to stop hauling after this. Hey, woe is me. What up, dude? The fact that there's multiple people reporting crimes leads me to believe that someone may be about to admit of their vampirism. Because people saw it. Otherwise, they wouldn't be reporting the crime. Well, this dwarf I know for a fact can't be a vampire because they came from the last fort. Good dwarf. But anybody else reporting the crime? Fob, the clother's reporting the crime. Inhales sharply when she's angry and needs alcohol to get through the working day. This one just saw the dead body, but didn't feel anything. Also doesn't have any drink thoughts. I can see. Could be you. Bob the clother. Let's queue up a interrogation with you, Thob. So how are we doing today, woe is me? I kind of love it when this happens, I'm not going to lie. Vampires are fun. May have gone right past you. Ah, there you are. No class because school internet is garbo. Our whole system is down. Oh, really? Are you at school right now or like at home? You trying to report a crime? Nope, you're trying to pick up equipment. Still no witnesses. I'm very curious to see what happens. Yeah, here comes the first crime recorder, who's Thob, our first witness for the crime. Okay, just said there's a dead person. Didn't tell us who did it. Or are you still trying to report the crime? Yeah, now you're just going to go for a drink. All right, so you're also coming to report the crime, Obak. Still no witness. Let's check Obak. Oh, you got haunted. It's alcohol to get through the working day. Doesn't really feel about anything anymore. Otherwise, you'd have an hour commute for one class. Yeah, fuck that noise. I feel like the frame rate's pretty bad right now, but it's not. And the reason I feel like it's pretty bad is because half of the dwarves have this fever. Ponce, thanks for the host. Cheers, man. You had a good day today. What was going on over there? All of my, like, plugins are down, so I don't know who's live. What were you streaming? Cheers, man. Appreciate the host. Really need him right now. You guys don't know Ponce, he's a good dude. He streams video games sometimes. And all of Twitch's APIs are fucked, so I will do this the old-fashioned way. Go give this lad a follow. What are you playing? Punka Frosty? Man, you've been doing long hours last 2 days. Yeah. Cheers, man. Oop. Max the infant was found dead, completely drained of blood. You know, can I just say, it's my mayor. I'm gonna laugh real hard. Rest in peace, Max the infant, chat. Yeah, dude, do what you gotta do. You gotta go sleep so you can stream Warhammer Launch tonight. Go to bed. Go to bed. Isn't it usually the mayor? I mean, mayors are generally blood-sucking parasites, so this isn't too far-flung from reality. Free remembering being released from confinement, so he did go to prison once. We're going to interrogate the mayor. Also, they just killed Max the infant, who's a named dwarf. He's sad. Although I'm led to believe that it was part of that most recent... Oh, there you are. Oh, interesting. There was 3 witnesses. Sodell the Trapper. So actually it was 2 that died. Nil the Animal Dissector was found dead, right? And then shortly after, Dodek, aka Max the Infant, was found dead. Apparently we also have a theft of an item. So somebody stole an artifact, and while I was okay, hold on a second. We gotta check this. So associated plot was Dastut Page Managers to steal Perplex Blanket, the Torrid Spells, agreed in 162. So somebody convinced somebody to steal one of my artifacts. Perplex Blanket, the Torrid Spells, the Date Palmwood Scepter. So somebody was trying to steal my Date Palmwood Scepter. And the only reason we found out is because we were interrogating people because of this, because of the, what's it called? These murders that happened. So the 2 vampire murders happened, and I started interrogating people about Nil, and then Dastod, who was one of the people I interrogated, admitted to plotting to steal one of my artifacts. Dwarf Fortress, it's a video game. Anyway, we now know who the vampire is. It's Sodell the Trapper, most likely, because this person. Didn't feel anything after seeing Max the Infant die. I would assume that this person is also the killer of the first dwarf. Let's go back into your thoughts a little bit. Max was an infant when they were born. Max was a child. Young dwarf. It was also his title. Then be charged with murder? Oh, yeah, absolutely. All right, well, in regards to this one, also apparently the murder of Nil is associated with the plot of this. Interesting. Why is it an associated plot? We're going to interrogate this trapper, this guy, before we, like, we know that this trapper did the crime, but we need to interrogate him before we arrest him, just in case there's something else going on. Anyway, so we interrogated with Joe, and we got no information, and we interrogated Dastot, and in the early summer of 162, an unidentified creature, oh! A Snatcher did show up, I remember this. An unidentified creature pretending to be the dwarf Snatcher submit to Scarhates, the hate of praises, corrupted the subject in order to have an agent in Hotbeards. An unidentified creature met with the subject and made a threat. The plan worked. The subject revealed that in the early summer of 162, the subject plotted to steal Perplex Blanket, the Torrid spells, under the influence of the unidentified creature. All right, so I know who that was. I remember when they came by because we were like, hey guys, there's a Snatcher on the map. That's funny. She really doesn't feel for anything unless she's praying, kind of sus. Yeah, it's often the case. All right, well, we've got a bunch. We've also still got crime reports coming in, so. Got another witness. Just keep keep following Sodell the Trapper. I love how Dwarf Fortress just suddenly becomes like a murder mystery deduction game when this happens. It's just like, once you understand how all the interrogation mechanics and shit works, it's just like, oh, this is immediately a fucking, like, mini game unto itself. I kind of love it. Also, we have a bunch of giant impalas. Are giant impalas grazers? Because we could start breeding giant impalas right now. If they're not. Is anybody sleeping in there? Also, it's kind of funny that giant Chevy Impalas, giant tame Impalas. It's great. Giant Tame Impala is going to be like the best hit psychedelic music band. I'm definitely nobody else has come up with that before. Completely unique and original idea. All right. Well, it looks like that planter who was tempted to steal that just got the shit kicked out of him. So, all right, well, at least Rhinestone's awake again. Just like staring at for sleeping dwarves. At least nobody else has shown up dead while we're following this guy around. There's a vampire in our midst, and we are following him. Just waiting for someone to doze off. Where's the captain of the guard at? Interrogating the traitor, who seemed kind of suspect. Then they just have a broken bone until they can fix it. So usually they just have a broken bone for a while. I realize that there's merchants leaving that I haven't traded with yet. I'm just distracted with more important things currently. Interesting. Are you going to go report your own crime? All right, so Rhinestone interrogated somebody else and didn't get too far. Hold up. Did another crime just get committed? Because all of a sudden everybody's going to go report another crime. But there wasn't a tantrum. Nobody else is dead. Wonder why they've decided now to report the crime. Maybe they finally got through their job queue. Now he's telling his story. All right. Interesting. Let's see what the captain of the guard is up to currently. Yeah, there's more crimes getting reported. A lot more. Am I going to play Warhammer 3? I've had bad experiences streaming Warhammer games, and I like the historical, it's not Warhammer games. I've had bad experiences streaming Total War games, and I'm a big fan. What just happened? And I'm a big fan of the historical ones. But I've had bad experiences streaming them. It's never been a fun streaming experience for me. Shogun 2? I'd say my favorite was probably Medieval 2. It's been a while. But I really dislike the focus on big map abilities, and I guess I just don't have I just have no interest in Warhammer Fantasy. If it was in a universe I liked, I'd be more interested, but we've got a Fey mood going on. It's just not a game that interests me. I could stream it. I don't genuinely believe that there's enough interest from my audience for me to stream it and it be worthwhile. And every other time I've tried streaming a Total War game, that's been proven true. I've played every single one of the recent historical Total War games to come out. I streamed Total War Saga, and it was a mess. Not very many people tuned in. Chat was dead. I streamed Three Kingdoms, and it was exactly the same. In fact, Three Kingdoms, I got some of the most insufferable backseaters I think I've ever gotten while streaming. I streamed Troy, which, again, a lot of backseating and wasn't very fun for me to stream. Yeah, I don't know. I've had such bad experiences streaming those games, I just really don't want to. Thing is, though, my channel kind of needs some spice right now. I need a hype new release because I could really use the traffic, but there just isn't much that interests me in those right now. Okay, where the hell? You know what? Fuck it. Let's just put this vampire in prison for now. You just wish they'd make a good Empire game? The problem is I like the Empire management side of it, but I'm so hysterically terrible at the combat side of it, people just tune out the second I get into the combat side of it. I don't know. I think... I don't know. And that dwarf's begun a mysterious construction. Wouldn't it be awesome if it just had an image of the vampire killing a person? I don't expect it to actually have that, but man, if it had an image of this vampire killing one of those two, my mind will explode. Oh, Empire Total War. I remember Empire Total War, and I enjoyed it. Uh-oh, there's Dwarf sleeping. Okay, you're getting thrown into prison now. If they put out Shogun 3, I'd play that. Feels pleasure near a fine door. Well, the problem is we still don't know. Wow, that's a long time in prison. Issue is, like you mentioned, Shogun 2 Best Boy currently. Yeah. My issue with current Total War is I like Total War. Total War is a lot of fun. I don't really like, we're interrogating the mayor now. I don't really like the focus on big activatable abilities. Don't really like that. A lot of people do. I'm in the minority there. Well, hopefully we're learning some interrogation techniques. Still don't actually know. Okay, so we interrogated the trapper. You know, I'm just going to... Can I repeat interrogate you? Also, just remember, our entire... our entire tavern is the prison, technically. Why am I so dull? Forgetting the name of this dwarf. It should be under the already interviewed. Because I literally just interviewed them. I'm just going to keep repeat interviewing them until we find out what the fuck they did. Unless that's not their name. Why am I not finding this dwarf? Also, we have some more farmers arriving. Fresh opportunities for more dwarves to be very suspect. Speaking of, need some dwarves for the military. You're cruel to those unfortunate enough to be subject to your sadism. Get in my military, lady. Incredibly calm and shameless. Oh, hey. Another old dwarf. They're kind of sus. Chat, do you guys see anything about alcohol in here? Excuse me, Dwarf. I need you to go drink booze. Lorbam, the dwarven child, has created Thodosanum, a granite earring, and claims it in the name of the family ancestor, Ingush Canyon Parched. This is a granite earring. All craftsmanship is of the highest quality. It is encrusted with cushioned granite cabochons and decorated with cave spider silk and encircled with bands of oval granite cabochons and cat bone. On the item is an image of Join Flash, the T-wood bed, in round lime wood. I wonder how the Steam store would look at would look if I filter the words battle, empire, and war. What, like filter out the words so you don't see them at all? Very empty, would be my guess. It's just so strange to me that dwarves are still reporting crimes. Hmm. "115 years old. Claims to be 115, but their hair is white and their skin is dark brown. Just look at that. That's a weird one if I ever saw one. All right, well, Sodell. Let's try this again. Sodell, 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 Sodell. I really wish that there was a way to just like automatically interview every new person coming into the fort. Like filter by new. Just interrogate everyone. Is their name not on here anymore? Oh, there you are. I haven't actually interrogated him in regards to that crime yet. I was looking for dwarves that I'd already interviewed, and I haven't interviewed him in regard to this one. Well, I mean, this dwarf's in prison now, right? But guilty? Nah. This dwarf don't feel guilty. Don't lie to me, dwarf. Sir, you've been randomly selected to visit the room with the bright lights and have them shined in your face for a while. Please enjoy the pleasant experience of blah! All right. I'm gonna place a floodgate right there. And set all those boulders to be dumped. Gotta get them out of there. Okay, so you're going to go interrogate him again. Hey, Pigfinite, what up? Dwarf's still alive, and you feel wonder remembering communing with Maz. You want to pray. Real bad, actually. But you were able to pray. You should be able to pray soon, hopefully. You're currently deep in the depths of the basement smelting glina ore. You have to leave for work, but if your fortress is in need of a priest... Yeah, I don't have any... I saw your comment, Cussy. I don't have any religions that have formed in the fort. So if a religion forms, I'll let you know. So currently we are not actually in need of a priest. But if that happens, I can make sure that that happens. All right, let's check that interrogation. Aha! We've made progress. Rhinestone met with the subject and made intimidating remarks in order to elicit information. The subject naively complied. The subject revealed that Sodell Shotgroll is in fact an assumed identity. The subject's true name is Stinthad. Homage flag. Check that out. This is good shit. All right. So does that mean you did, in fact, kill him? No. All right. Well, let's try interviewing him again. At least we're making progress. Because your real name is Stinthad. So now you'll show up in the already interviewed. Interview him again. And there's so many crimes getting reported still. This is wild. But yes, I am keeping that in mind, missionary. But you have a good day at work. I appreciate the comment. You know, I could actually, in regards to Warhammer, if they ever made a 40k Total War, I think I would be much more interested. Because I feel like that would play a lot closer to, or certain factions would play a lot closer to Napoleon or Empire, which would be interesting. It's ranged combat stuff, but I don't know. There are some patches for games I like coming out soon, though, so there will be other things around. Like, I'm looking forward to the next major patch of Songs of Six, as an example. Very much eagerly anticipating that. Okay, so this is a massive waste of time. Still trying to figure out who killed that other person. Although it is kind of funny that this dwarf is just walking around making coffins. But yeah, if anybody has any questions about what I'm doing or the fort or Dwarf Fortress in general, just give me a shout. I know far too much about this game. It's getting a little bit silly. Although I learned something brand new today, so I don't know everything. I need you to finish making this goddamn coffin, Dwarf. Go interrogate that dwarf again. There we go. Keep interrogating him. Just don't fall asleep next to him. All right, let's try it again. Fortunately, now that you're already in the already interviewed section, you're easier to find. All right, Sodell the Trapper. Wait, hold on a second. Somebody want to explain something to me. So we know that this is now an assumed identity. Their name is now in quotes. You guys know that? Yeah, look at this. It puts their name in quotes. It doesn't change it to their real name, but it does put it in quotes. I never noticed that before. I learned 2 things today. Why doesn't it just, like, put it as their... Works fuck. Yes, it does works fuck. Huh. Well, I just learned something. Anyway, chat, does anybody know if impalas need to graze, so I don't need to look it up on the wiki? I can wiki it, but we have a bunch of giant impalas in the tavern, or in the chained up area, in cages. If they don't need to graze, we can start breeding them. If they do need to graze, I need to set some stuff up, but go interrogate them again. Dwarf better be improving interrogating. Scotch after drinking the same old booze, fair enough. Meanwhile, Nox over here just like killed a vulture, so that's good. All right, let's try a third time. They have grazer tag. I don't like grazing giant animals because they need so much grazing space. Like, it's a bit nuts. And like a bit nuts is like an understatement. The funny thing would be is if this dwarf managed to chug somebody while they're lying down out here. It would be kind of hilarious. I mean, I thought about going to Tame Impala once. Then I looked at the price of the tickets and I thought, nah.
This is Sparta!
Officially out of meetings for the day, CryptPog.
CryptPog indeed. Thanks for adding a third onto my today's revenue for bits. Cheers, man. And that is more, not counting that. Yeah, that's more bits than I've gotten this week. Literally. Cheers, man. Appreciate you. Jack, can I get a couple beers for Rory? Good day, short lurks today. Gotcha, Diamond. Enjoy your lurks. No new information was revealed. It's a pretty safe bet that this dwarf did both of these crimes. So I'm going to give Sodell both of these sentences. I fly past you. Oh, there you are. You're outraged upon sleeping in a poor bedroom? Do you not have a good enough bedroom? I need to figure out where your bedroom is. Anyway, how long in prison do you get now, Sodell? 433 days in prison. Suppose you'll survive that, now do you? Plenty of time for us to construct a weird box for you to live in. What are most of these dwarves up to? A lot of them are making coffins, weaving threads. People are still reporting crimes, which is throwing me off. I'm very confused about this. Whoa. It's probably vulture blood. Probably vulture blood. We'll assume it's vulture blood. Although it doesn't seem like anybody is particularly distressed by the conviction of the wrong person. So I'm assuming we convicted the right person. Assuming. These dwarves are getting tombs now, as well as some pets. Seems like we've learned a few things about taming giant impalas, so that's good. I do think it's kind of funny that we need empty cages. I do think it's kind of funny that dwarves are more concerned about giving a coffin to a pet pig than they are giving a coffin to a deceased dwarf. Yes, Rory. That is the plan. Or if not reclaim, then visit. This one's pretty fucky, though. The fact that, like, my dwarves are all sick with a fever and there's kind of nothing I can do about it. They're all sick with a fever because of some of the creatures in the basement that are expelling gases. It's kind of strange. And now combine that with, like, this weird vampire situation that we have going on and, like, perpetual crimes being reported. It's... Yeah, they walk in here, and then they're like, oh my god, crime got committed. But there's no crime actively happening in there. It's super perplexing. It's like they keep reporting that somebody died to a vampire, but it's like, we definitely know that somebody died to a vampire, and well, at least we do have dwarves placing items in tombs. But how's Rory been today? What you been up to, man? So it looks like we need to brew some drinks. This is bizarre. Like, it almost feels like I've got some sort of weird, like, infinite crime report thing going on. Specifically for this dwarf. Nil. But we do have a convicted murderer now, is Sodel. Who is not, in fact, Sodel. And now my... Captain of the Guard just has this crowd of people following him around, all trying to report a crime. All of these dwarves with question marks flashing on them here are trying to report a crime currently. And are literally incapable of that. I've never seen this happen before. So either we've hit some sort of like weird infinite repeating crime bug, or there's things about the crime system in this game that I don't understand. Both are possible. Did you, like, double check to make sure it wasn't an out-of-season April Fool's joke? Just, I have to ask. We literally had a discussion earlier today about why April 1st sucks. Cancels report crime. Reason, interrupted. This is bizarre. Oh, I know why this is happening. It's because they keep finding the body and they're seeing it for the first time and they're going, oh no, it's a body completely drained of blood. So it's just all of the dwarves, like, kind of like having a domino effect of everybody seeing the body and going, oh, it's a body. Guys, it's a body. Oh no, guys, it's a body. We need a rumor system where rumors spread so that the dwarves all know that so-and-so already found the body and we don't all need to individually report it. Okay, that makes a lot of sense now. Thankfully, no April Fool's joke. That's when all merit increases and get moved over. You didn't hear about the body? Exactly. It's like, how do you guys not all know about this already? What the fuck? Hell's wrong with you? Anyway, body's been dealt with now, so that's good. Hopefully that'll stop happening. Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear about the raise that you're getting. Seems like it's needed considering. I'm assuming you're still moving, right? So sounds like it's needed. All right, let's jump up to the mayor's office and pull a couple levers. Drain 1, drain 2, front door. And the vampire gets to live here for a while. Although gets to perform. Hopefully nobody falls asleep in the, like, 9 tiles around you. Hopefully nobody dies in those. Or falls asleep there because they'll just get drained most likely. Can't make soap, we require more lye. Well, no need to lie about it. Oh, also, trap lock needs to be pulled. Front door is open. One. Which should be fan-freaking-tastic. Hell yeah, man. Glad to hear shit's going all right. You got the vamp chained? Yeah, it's just my prison. I'm testing something. My prison is like just chains in my tavern. So, I mean, it's an open prison concept. We're seeing if it helps people's social interactions. Although it might be a concern if you have a particularly like tantrumy prisoners. So, I mean, the vampire does currently have 416 days left in prison. Also, is actually Stinthad homage flag. and potentially earlier tried to convince a dwarf to steal an artifact from us earlier, before they were a member of the fort. Fun. Yeah, that's good to hear, Rory. I'm glad that some things are going well. I just got sent a preview key for the simplest looking RTS I think I've ever seen, but it looks oddly charming. This looks like weirdly chill and oddly charming. But also very amateur. There's a link in chat if anybody wants to see it. So, we're making a well. That's the current plan. Making a well. You're also trying to dispose of a lot of bodies. A lot of bodies. We've also got a lot of other jobs going on. And my mayor wants a glass window. And I have no way of making clear glass. We can cancel those jobs. Cancel those jobs. Just keep making drinks. Dwarves are just going to be putting stuff away for a little bit. Yeah. Well, I mean, it just means it's very touch focused, but I don't know. I'm interested in games that are stripped down RTSs. Just checking something real quick. Because they're saying it is a multiplayer title. Yeah, it's only multiplayer. Well, that made it significantly less interesting. I was reading the email and it's like, here's the Steam page for it, right? Like, this looks interesting, but it's multiplayer only. And man. It's like I am interested in like the whole concept of that, but yeah. Vile Force of Darkness. Well, all right. Everybody get inside. Suddenly, everybody's just going to be like, bleh! All right. Everybody get inside. Shut off all the squads. Get them all inside, too. Get the stupid cats inside. Pull the side door lever. Uh-oh. Why is there Herb standing here? Sucks to be you, Burp. There we go. First lever's been pulled. I'm going to pause the game for a sec. Need to go use the restroom real quick. Then we'll do the fight. Back in a sec. All right. So, side door is shut. A big siege. Human pikemen. Interesting. Where did you guys come from? You mind telling me? Do you have any engravings? Oh, your copper cap does. On the item is a rendition of the Bad Monster, a superiorly designed image of two prickleberries. The image is the symbol of the hate of praises, a goblin civilization. Can I just say that is one of the most Tourette's-infused, neither here nor there, all over the fucking place I've seen in a while. Best AI you've seen in a game is Star Sector. Star Sector is super cool. I will play Star Sector one of these days. That is on the long-term to-do list. But can I just say that that's super funny to me? This is one of the funniest images I've seen maybe ever. I'm actually just going to screenshot this because this is so silly to me. I'm going to just put this in DF Talk. Very, very, very funny. All right. So all these goblins do be rushing in. And I need to just real quick expand this burrow, because currently it's not covering any of my bedrooms. So let's just expand this all the way to here. So now the dwarves can go to bed. We're also going to expand it to include those. Also, looks like our Vampy boy is getting depressed. Sucks to be you. Lurk time, you have a good one. Chops. Aw, man. Somebody did the classic of Dorphins. They, somebody did the Dwarf classic, which is, they left a piece of clothing right there. Are they coming out to haul that yet? Cave Spider Silk Robe. Let's just seal this off real quick. We can unseal it after. But I need that sealed stat. Let's hope that that'll cover. Because I don't really want them running out and into the world, you know? I don't think that's it. I think it's more of a, like Amateur, I think it's more of a Making good AI is expensive. That would, if I had to guess, that would be my guess. Is making good AI is expensive. Let's just see if they can... Okay. Let's just forbid both of these. Right again. These aren't necromancers. These are just, These aren't necromancers. These are just humans and goblins. Speaking of, how close are they? Very close. Okay, so there are 2 dwarves coming to construct the building. It's a race between us and them. It looks like they canceled it because out of fear. Well. Alright, well, there's literally nothing I can do then. In that instance. I guess we... go into the burrow. Start erasing. Erase this area from the burrow. And, pull this lever. There's literally nothing I can do. All because a dwarf left their clothing in the doorway. Although, maybe there is something I can do. Test this out. Aw, man, I was hoping they'd just stand there. And then we could just flatten them. Darn. They are turning around, though. Which is interesting. All right, let's unforbid both of these. And add the burrow back to this. See if we can try this again. The thing is, if I put my army in there, it'll just be a fight. Otherwise, I literally have no way of coaxing them into there. That's the problem. Gotta pull the lever. I have to wait for them to leave. Where do they go? Seems like they are all just heading up top. A bunch of them are hanging out back here. Feels like they're heading up to the plateau up here. Kind of hard to spot them. All right, we're just going to keep trying this. We're just going to keep trying it until we make it work. We're going to use those 2 lead bars. We're going to open the door again. Does seem like they've made it pretty far. Door's not open yet. Those ain't forbidden yet. Fingers crossed, chat. I need this to be open in order for this to work. There you go. You're running up here to construct the building. Come on, get it done, get it done, get it done. Construct it. You can do it. Did we forbid that center one? Damn it. I was hoping that this dwarf would just do it. All right, well, that's another piece done, so we got to pull the lever again. Oh, they killed the stray cat. Hold the lever again. And the goblins turn around again. And we're going to have to do this dance for a little bit, chat. We're going to have to do this dance for a little bit. Chat, can we get a round of beers? I was curious about how many people are listening to the stream currently. To be fair, that cat did definitely require that. That cat needed the to be put out of its misery. You know, I need a war cry from you guys, chat. We are at war here. This is like the most threat the fort could be under. Come on. Show some excitement. Jeez. You guys have made my job hard this past 2 weeks. I get it. It's because of the lack of whammer. But we need to wait. Okay, they killed the other cat. I like how that human popped back through and then fired an arrow and killed the cat. That's brutal. All right. We have to wait for these humans to get a little further away. So let's wait until this guy gets across that bridge. Assuming he's heading in that direction. Don't even know what direction they're heading. They're not going up. Most of them are on the other side. Unfortunately, none of them have guns sploosh. Should have made a backup for this, but I didn't. Live and learn. Once again. We just need someone to run up there and quickly build that center wall piece. And then we're good to go. And we can just run this fort and win. Okay, let's deconstruct and reconstruct that. Oh, I know what lead wall piece it's using. It's going for this one. Okay. Let's try that again. There we go. We do have a construct building job now. Perfect. Come on, Rhinestone. You've done 2 of them. You can do the final one. Come on, Dwarf. Hey, round of applause. Perfect. Sweet. We are now good to go. After some deliberations, we have managed to trap them. So now they have to come in this way, but they have a direct way in. I don't know if anything, like, you know, like it deserves some sort of excitement and happiness. This does. It's also kind of interesting. It looks like they're using like either humans as bait or they're like the commanders of this army, because the humans are all up front. Look at this. So either that's like their squad leader, or they're just like, all right, big tall person, you go first to find the traps. I'm not sure which direction this is going. You know what's funny, Rory? This just kind of shows how broken Twitch is right now. I just got the notification on both of my like stat trackers. So Streamlabs and Twitch itself only just realized that you cheered 300 bits in my notification feed. You don't agree with the big tall person going first, Strap, but you can see over, like, into the cubicle next to you, so. Also, can confirm, Rory is very tall. How tall are you, Rory, if I can ask? Because we had somebody bragging about how tall they were recently in chat, and I'm like, I think Rory might be taller. Although the tallest person I've ever met through Twitch isn't Rory. The tallest person I've ever met through Twitch is Eon Raptor. And Eon Raptor is, I don't actually know his real name, but he's so tall. I can be like on the floor at PAX and he can be at the other end of it and I can see him. Like I'm tall enough that I can see over most people. And it's like, I can spot Eon Raptor from the other side of a stadium. That's how tall the dude is. All right, here come all the humans. Goblin humans have equal rights. It's probably they just move faster because bigger legs. But then explain why all these humans are behind. Maybe that's just a particularly brave human. Although now he's behind, so. But they put the recruit up front. Had you by Dr. Disrespect, had you by a couple inches. He was also in combat boots when you were next to each other, so he cheated. Well, Dr. Disrespect cheats at most things. Speaking of Dr. Disrespect, I don't think we ever did figure out why he got banned from Twitch, did we? So it's got to just be like something really boring. Like he was considering signing a contract with YouTube, so Twitch just like got ahead early. The doc has you beat by 1 inch, really? I mean, I'm like 6 foot on the dot, so slightly above 6 foot. All right, so this goblin is up front. All right, Nako, you're the brave one. That's for sure. He's still got a ways to go before he gets to the entrance, though. All right, I think right about now. Not seeing any more coming in. Let's jump up to the mayor's office. Lock the front door. And lock the trap. While we follow this goblin. So now, those levers should get pulled. And hopefully those doors close before the goblins get in. If they don't, then I send my stabber masters to go stab. Why did you turn around? Eh? Confusing. Anyway, door is locked. Also, front door is locked. So it's time for the Bigum's Whoosh. And to those of you who haven't seen it yet, well, ready for a lot of water. Trap, go whoosh. Pull the lever, Dwarf. Oh, also, I think so. I think we just crushed human. Oh, no, we didn't. We simply launched a human with this drawbridge. Although, little does Utes Oslimuts know it, but his life's going to be extended because of it. All right, so who gets the honors of pulling the lever? Looks like Pigfinite gets the honors this round. One of the few. We have a second vampire in the fort. Well, it's not you. All right, then. Anyway, At least we have something to do after this. This dwarf walks in and is going to go pull the lever. The trap go whoosh. Does this. In a few seconds. No, there's a second vampire. The first one admitted to it. We have his false name and everything. There's two. And here it goes. One turn at a time. Now we can look at this. All the ones that have blue names are currently underwater and or drowning. Invasion? What invasion? I mean, we missed like two. This human recruit, Thad, who's in a cage. This pikeman, a goblin, two goblin spearmen that are also in cages. Yeah, if they're both part of the same plot, that would be great. All of that red is their blood. There's a lot of blood getting washed off of them. They are completely encased in water. Anyway, the siege is now one person who's somehow still oh, right. Yeah, this one person who is now like, oh god, I think everybody's dead, guys. I'm going to go back home now. Bye there. And now that that is done, I can pull the second lever, and then we have to figure out who killed the other human. And then we need to figure out who the culprit is for the second one of those. I still have one more lever to pull, but I'm just going to do this for fun. Game of Clue within DF? Yeah, literally. Like, you have to send dwarves to go interrogate other dwarves and stuff. And now we can begin draining. This is a cool fucking fort. That's all I have to say. This is a really cool fucking fort. Then the drain should stop. I think I'm gonna leave now. Yeah, exactly. It's like, hey, can I just like go home? I mean, I'd want to leave this fort too if I was that. All right, so do we have Murder of Mizbuth? We don't have any culprits yet. But since we're all in here, well, it can't be you because you feel euphoric due to inebriation, Ronald. But we're just going to start interrogating people. Start interrogating people. You know, I think it's mechanics like this that I think are going to shock people when they play Dwarf Fortress for the first time. Oh, you're right at the top. Cool, so we can interrogate you, just because you've seen it. Gunslinger. Ox. I don't trust any of these fucking rangers. What, like for the first time ever, or for the first time, like, today? So today was the first time you've ever seen this mechanic, is what you're telling me. Their names I don't recognize. Let's let the dwarves have a little bit more freedom again. Thing is, we can't actually get out of the fort currently. Until I remove that. And pull the side door only lever. Oh, okay. So like a couple days ago. Got it. Interesting. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't need it very often in Long Death. Because I know who commits crimes in Long Death. It's only really needed in bigger forts when there's more going on. Yeah, I love the water traps. The problem with water traps is they're very inefficient against undead because they just kind of keep walking. But so if we start getting hit by undead, we have to have an alternative trap. Lava? I don't really have much in the way of lava-safe materials. Unless I want to drag them all the way down to the sea itself, which is an option. Still no witnesses. Yeah, we have literally no idea. Let me just startled you. Afraid we're living experiencing trauma, eh? What kind of trauma? Just selected a random door. I don't see any euphoric or anything relating to alcohol. Need to be careful about what buttons I hit on that, because I could accidentally accuse the wrong person of the crime. Wouldn't want to do that. Dwarf 1, speak up. Dwarf 2, I won't speak. Dwarf 1, being in the liquid. Dwarf 2, no, anything but water. Okay, okay. Force him to drink water. Oh, no. There actually is a really cheaty way to expose... Well, not maybe not cheaty, but there's a really easy way to expose vampires. But it requires killing somebody. And it's, lock everybody in a room and fill that room up with beds. Somebody will inevitably find it. A lot of the dwarves in this fort don't... Your left lower leg is gone? A lot of the dwarves in this fort do not seem to be euphoric due to inebriation. We need some crutches. This dwarf's missing a leg. Assign you a dwarf? No! I mean, what kind of dwarf do you want? You have to, like, give me some sort of reference. It's a weird one. Hey, Thundy. Long time. How's you? Well, at least you feel satisfied remembering when... Ah, there you go. You did drink. Okay, so it's not you. Can't be you. Couldn't be. Could never be you. You're fine. We'll just have to wait a little bit, I suppose. I'm alright. I don't go outside much these days. That's fine, amateur. What kind of dwarf would you like? Yeah, we got a little bit of everything. You could even be a vampire if you want, although you are probably going to be chained up for a while. Although you are, like, feeling satisfied after discussing your problems with an acquaintance. You know what? I'm going to interrogate the other vampire as part of this whole situation. So we're going to go grab that other vampire and just be like, yo, do you happen to know any other vampires hanging out in here? Seems like a good place to start, actually. Why didn't I think of that? If anybody's gonna know, it's you, Sodal. Well, when I say outside, I don't even mean like going outside, like outside. I go outside more often than I go to what I'm referring to, which is I don't talk to other streamers anymore, really. Uh-oh. There's still a pikeman on the map, apparently. Kick his shins in. Stupid tall person. It's like I interact with my stream team, and that is, like, it. Alright, I think your tooth just got knocked out. Looks like it, yeah. Hammer Dwarf scratches the human pikeman in the upper leg, bruising the bone through the large troll fur cloak. But yeah, just tell me one or two things about a dwarf that you would like. Any kind of job or preference as amateur, and I will find you a dwarf. And he's dead. Perfect. We're still reporting the goddamn crimes. It's taking forever. Just get everybody back inside. Easier that way. While the drains are still draining. I love the way these drains look. It is so fucking cool. The fact that we just have, like, I don't know, 4 or so waterfalls whenever the bads leave. It's like, well, you guys are all gonna just get whooshed around for a bit. Let's do the interrogating. But yeah, what have you been up to recently, Thundy? How's life been treating you? I've been trying to get hobbies that require going outside again. So, like, I've got snowshoes this past winter. I've gone snowshoeing 4 times. Me and my friend are planning on picking up winter camping gear and summer camping gear. I'm going to buy the winter camping shit. He's going to buy the summer camping shit. And we're going to start trying to go winter camping and summer camping. Because there's so much, like, city property around here and province property that, like, you can just go camping anywhere. As proof from photos on my Discord, I walked up Pointy Rock on Monday. So, you know, we were expecting the mountain to be super busy on Valentine's Day, but we were literally the only people up there. There was no one. There was a couple people skiing, like a small handful of people skiing, but there was no one up there. This area is, like, normally super heavily traveled, but it was just me and Kevin. It's like, well, just wandering up a mountain, I guess. But yeah, that's me about 2 minutes after I fell off of a small cliff. Semi-intentionally. I wasn't expecting to fall as far as I did, but yeah, that's me walking into the sunset with my snowshoes off after on the way down because we were on the hard-packed trails. Yeah, that's what I've been up to. That's what's been giving me happiness as of late. Aside from that, it's just streaming. I started a podcast, which has been doing quite well a podcast can do. We were the #1 podcast in Honduras for a bit. Now we're the #2 podcast in Honduras, which makes me kind of sad, which is maybe almost funnier. It's like we're the 2nd most popular podcast in Honduras. For video games. I should clarify. 2nd most popular video games related podcast in Honduras. And I'm pretty sure we've had 1 person listen. So I want to know, which one of you hooligans set your VPN to Honduras? Come on, admit it. Which one of you did it? And before we actually have a, like, community member in Honduras, which is like, and I'm just being super insensitive. All right, let's check out these interrogations. Okay, no good information was revealed. Someone on vacation? Yeah, I mean, actually, that is possible. Bidus spot. Maybe somebody went on vacation. I don't know. I mean, Kiri has like a really large reach too, so does FG, so do I to a degree. Like, there's people from all over the world watching. No. It's just fun to be like #1 podcast in Honduras. I kind of also wish that there was more people in Honduras listening so that we could have like, so that could be a more consistent thing. Need some crutches. Could also make crutches out of lead, and then we could also have strength training. Yeah, the 100 fan. Bored after being unable to practice craft. Well, you ate 2 people, so you know what? Suck it up. Well, it can't be you. Just like looking at dwarves right now until I see something sus. We had a murder committed in the fort. Trying to figure out the whodunit bit. And murdering goblins is good, so not to confuse, you know, murder with murder against goblins or the humans that keep invading us. Those are fine. But somebody ate 2 of my dwarves. I'm trying to figure out who did it. 3 actually now, because there's somebody else. This one did 2 of them. There's another one. Don't know who it is. You want to practice some martial art? Well, I got a job for you then. Looking for people that witnessed the death of somebody. Are there any, like, weirdly flickery farmers that I don't recognize? Don't recognize you. There is gray mixed with white. 139 years old. Yeah, that checks out. Looking for alcohol-related thunks. Any thinking related to alcohol? So what have you been up to, Sunday? Life's been alright lately as opposed to last year? Yeah, that makes sense. I don't trust this dwarf. I don't trust you. You seem weird. You're also, like, stuck. Your pathfinding's broken. We'll just let them interrogate. We'll follow the interrogations and see what happens. If someone else shows up dead, someone else shows up dead. Yes, I'm slaughtering a bunch of kittens. I know I'm a terrible person. Yada, 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 yada. Okay, whatever. Yeah, I've largely been up to nothing of particular interest. No new information. Just been streaming dwarfs. Talking about dwarves, playing games related to dwarves. Occasionally doing something different, but it's kind of a lot of dwarves. Oh shit, I'm not slaughtering the giant skinks, am I? Shit! No, don't do that. No slaughter giant skink. Giant skink, very important. Streaming a lot of dwarves? I mean, as much as I enjoy streaming this game, I mean, there are probably better games for me to be streaming, stats-wise, but... Just getting emails about games that I go, oh, that looks interesting, and then learning that they're multiplayer only, and then getting sad. Are you still speedrunning the Star War? Or are you up to something different these days? I know last time I checked in, you were playing WoW. I unfortunately didn't stick around long because I'd rather cut my eyes out than watch people play an MMO. So I have certain tastes, and MMOs are not one of them. No damage runs are on hold until the sequel drops, and gosh, you're done with that game. That was early last year. Yeah, it's been a while. Like I said, I haven't been watching other people. I kind of did a mass unfollowing, which you were not included in, around the beginning of 2020, where I just kind of went through and just like unfollowed everybody that I hadn't watched in a while, or people that I didn't know. Or it's like, why do I follow you? I don't know you. So I unfollowed a lot of people. Need to actually start that military training. So I unfollowed a lot of people. That dwarf standing there to like yell at somebody in charge. The giant skink on the map. Don't kill it. Stand it up. His friend. Let's check this. Interesting. Well, we've got another fun thing that we found out. In the early spring of 162, an unidentified creature attempted to corrupt the subject in order to have an agent in Hotbeards. The unidentified creature met with the subject and made a threat. The plan worked. The subject revealed that in the early spring of 162, the subject plotted to steal the palisade of princes under the influence of an unidentified creature. Also, in regards to this whole system, because I know Frog Fryer was saying that like his first time seeing it was the other day, I was watching somebody stream Dwarf Fortress once, and they had two dwarves. It was a very small channel. I've only seen them the one time. And they had two dwarves on a desert island. They were doing that kind of playthrough where you only have two dwarves. But they had a tavern open, and like their whole idea was like, oh, these dwarves are a married couple, which they were. And this tavern is going to be populated with guests, and the whole point was he was trying to like play Dwarf Fortress like a tavern simulator. And hey, Haas says, oh, what's up? But it was very funny because one of his artifacts went missing. He's like, oh no, what happened? And so he appointed one of the two dwarves as the captain of the guard and got them to interrogate each other, and they'd both separately been convinced to plot to steal this artifact by different people. So two separate individuals. Yeah, I think something similar happened to Krug Smash, but it didn't end this way. Two separate people, because like if you try and do, basically what I'm trying to say is if you do a two-dwarf fort, don't ever acknowledge this system because it'll wreck it for you. Two separate, they'd both been convinced to steal this artifact separately. One of them was successful, and then the one that wasn't successful, he convicted the successful one of the crime, and then the one that wasn't successful then proceeded to kill the one who was successful with a beating, because they were both military dwarves, and he was strong enough that he just like caved the other dwarf's head in. So that was kind of sad to watch. Anyway, interesting. Meaning Nox is implicated in that. To boop was too strong. Booped forehead and caved skull directly through brain, crushing brain. It's too strong is one way to put it. What you up to, Haas? Minor brain damage? Minor brain smearage, maybe. One could even suggest major brain damage. Got your butt kicked in Deep Rock Galactic? Yeah, that happens. I learned that cave floaters expel floater gas, which inhaled or ingested causes mild nausea, drowsiness, and a fever and dizziness. Which is why most of my fortress has dizziness right now. Or actually less of them, but a good chunk of my fort is still, you know, not in the best of physical stature, which is why there's red X's on everything. Cave nap sleepiness? Is that really what it's for? They put them to sleep with it? After all this time, I'm still learning things about this game. No new information was revealed. Really? Let's just drag this person over. I did kind of queue up a lot of interrogations, so. Captain the Guard's a busy bean today. All right, dragging that Dwarf out. Well, dealing with various corpses. Well, this dwarf is just interrogating people. Oh, hey, giant skink. Need to chain my pet giant skink back up. Because I unchained it. Because I accidentally labeled it as kill it. Apparently we're hunting a giant snail right now. You've had a mighty need to slap red hot metal for a while? And what's stopping you? More migrants, just what we need. Not really, but... Peace is always preferable to war, eh? Welcome, newbies. She's brave. Perfect. Let's just let them do that. We will... Negative temperatures? I was going to say, is it like a seasonal thing? Nothing new? Jams. It's a legendary woodcrafter, hey? Find something humorous in anything. Oh, you're from my previous fort. That explains it. Oh, let's put you in the military, why not? I'm sure you'll be fine. Be not fun to slap metal in the cold. You just need a space heater. You know, a heater that heats up space. A sun heater would be more efficient, probably, but... Anyway, Cole... Obokurist... is making an artifact. And my Wampoir is throwing a tantrum. Great. I think now is where we just need to build a wall around him. Potentially. I kind of wish that you could, like, assign a prisoner to a new location. Be real nice if you could do that. Dwarf has claimed a mason shop. That's fun. Check in with you in a bit. No, you can't assign them to a new prison spot. It's just set to used by justice. I could unassign it from used by justice. I don't think I can then be like, yo, yeah, no, I cannot chain up a criminal dwarf to elsewhere. Although while they're chained up, I don't think that they can actually like attack things. Could be wrong though. Cool. Strange Mood Dwarf is building artifact. Yeah, I don't think prisoners can. Considering it was just like in a crowd of them for a second. No new information. Rhinestone's getting a drink. Probably needs it. Working as a detective is a tough gig. You're now going to go pick up equipment. Well... We are now up to 112 dwarves. Okay, well, you do that. We're going to follow this dwarf. There's still another vampire in the fort. Remember that. Wait, what? Oh. Implicate somebody. Hold on. Highest known organization. Oh, I see. We need to figure out who identified is. So some organization is plotting to steal this. I'm also going to interrogate the vampire in regards to the palisade of that thing. Also, chat, I'm kind of hungry. I've been streaming for 4.5 hours. Interrogate Stone. Stone has been here long enough that like it's unlikely that Stone did anything, but I can. So I'm gonna queue up Stone as a... Unless you're saying interrogate Rhinestone. Where's Stone? Did I fly past you already? I wish this menu had a filter. Real bad. I don't think you died. You're alive, are you not? There you are. All right. I'm hungry, so I'm going to pause the game and leave her paused for a couple of minutes. I'm going to go get myself some food. Chad, if you're just lurking, could I get a round of beers? That would be phenomenal. If you're looking for something else to listen to, here's a link to my podcast. I will be back in about 5 minutes. If you want to see other Dwarfy related things, there's a link to the YouTube channel. And if you would like to support this stream directly, there's a link to the Patreon.